Hey Steve, Grant Putnam here. Just wanted to briefly go through the proposal and explain it to you. All right, so first part of the proposal is just the landscaping along the front foundation of the house, and I broke it up into different sections. This this section also coordinates with the videos, so it's important to watch all the different videos to fully understand what we're quoting. Okay. But my big advantage is going to be on the cost of the plant material installed. All right, and obviously beyond just the cost, because you could go perhaps to a wholesale nursery, buy it cheaper, and maybe do it yourself. But number one, most of the wholesale nurseries are not going to have the same quality material. So if you look at our website and you look at other jobs that we've done, there's a huge difference in quality material based on what the cheap wholesale nurseries are charging for it. I mean, there's a lot of their boxwood this year are junk because they're buying it from West Coast, because all the East Coast nurseries have mostly sold out. I had to pre-purchase all my boxwoods last winter to make sure I had them for this year. So we buy trailer loads of, like, tractor trailer loads of boxwood. So like this year I used like 500 green velvet boxwoods and like 250 American boxwoods larger size, because I know that the wholesale nurseries, for example, are charging the same amount that I'm charging you to install it with a 1-year guarantee. So that's really my big advantage, is quality material, price on the material installed, and I'm giving you a better price than I would a typical homeowner, just so you know. Okay. And furthermore is the technicalities of what's going to look good and how to place it, because it's a game of inches. So the plant has to be placed in the exact right location, and then aesthetically what's going to work in what different sun conditions. So all those factors all come into play. So if you want a professional job at a very good price, then the plantings again are going to be a huge competitive advantage for us. All right, so as we go through, everything is pretty self-explanatory. I gave you big boxwoods at a great price. I mean, you could probably buy boxwoods 2 years younger from another vendor at the same price, meaning that these are typically like $600 each installed. I'm charging you $290 per boxwood installed for 40-inch by 40-inch globe shape premium boxwood. I know what the wholesale vendors charge, and again, they're typically really, really expensive. So I think this would give you like more of an instantaneous gratification when you want to sell the house, that the plants are already look like they're mature. I think you're paying for plants that are 2-3 years younger than what I'm quoting you. So essentially, I think it would give you a nice finished look for a curb appeal. When someone pulls in a driveway, they're going to be wowed when they come to the property. Okay, and just so you know, boxwoods are sold every 4 inches is a different size. So typically they only put on 4 inches of growth, and that makes them one of the more expensive plants and a slow growing item. But every 4 inches in size is typically another whole year that the grower has to maintain it. So that's the way to think about it. Okay. Same thing with the trees, all the plants in here. I try to give you my best price up front for what I knew was going to be a really good value. All right, so now we go down through here, then the center circle, the driveway. I think you should end up landscaping that. It's the first thing you see when you pull in the driveway, so I say a mix of almost 100 different perennials, because it's a 27-foot diameter circle. Mixing some evergreens. It's a dwarf type of Andromeda. Okay, it keeps its color during the winter. And then obviously keep the tree, which is a gorgeous tree. Okay, and as we go down through here, right side of the driveway, I explained in the video my thoughts on that, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Landscaping in front of the pool house, same thing, that was also explained in the video. Demo and remove the concrete rectangular structure, so that we have to cut up, break it up, and then haul it away. Probably at least two truckloads down to Stanford. There's a guy in Stanford that will take the concrete. Okay, we can haul it down there, and we have dumpsters, so we could do that ourselves. I separated the cost for hauling and paying to get rid of it versus the cost for demoing it. So that's that. Lawn installation. this is the deal with your lawn, right? The only really good time to put a seeded lawn. Now, sod you can do at a different time, but you're not going to want to do sod because it's going to cost you way more money. But if you seed it, you really got to stay in that window where you're getting it done in September or early October, right? If you try to do it next spring, expect that you're going to have a lot of weeds next summer. And the reason behind that, if you seed it this fall, the roots have time to get established and get deep enough before the heat of next summer, and then the seedlings won't die. Where if you try to seed it in the spring, it'll come in great for about 3 weeks, and then about half of the seed is going to die from the first heat spell that you get that summer. So there's a reason why, if you look at any lawn fertilizing program, all the lawn renovations are done during the fall, because the only time it really works. All right. Now the other thing is, if you want really great results, then you should use the process I laid out, which is, basically killing all the vegetation, power raking it. I'm gonna have to use the excavator and the skid steer around the pool, because that area there's some serious roots that are gonna have to be yanked out. Then we would rototill around the pool area, just around the pool area where there's like those crazy roots and kind of viney material that's growing, right? Then we would end up double core aerating, or actually triple core aerating the whole property. So we have this big core aerator machine that pulls plugs out of the ground and breaks up the compaction in the soil. So we go over it 3 or 4 times, and we throw down a layer of seed. Then we top dress it with a special top dressing machine that spreads compost over the entire lawn. That's the same thing as almost like slice seeding, but you're also adding compost, so it absorbs a lot of water. And with grass seed, you want to keep it moist. So the results are like 3 times better when you're using compost, when you're top dressing it, than if you're just throwing seed in the top. There's a huge difference. So all the lawn renovations we've done the last few years have only been that method, and the results are really, really great. Okay. It also includes touching up the seed at the end of October as necessary for any of the bare spots. Okay. If you get a heavy rain after you put the lawn in, we don't protect against that. So you have to be aware, if you get really unlucky within the first 3 weeks after you seed it and you get a torrential downpour, then that's something that we don't protect against. We can't prevent that. And it's weather related, so that's something that you'd have to pay extra to come back and fix. All right. But 95% of the time, that's not an issue. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay. Then I made a list. If you need extra materials, say if you want to raise the grade in one area, you need extra dirt, just regular fill. Then I gave you a price for fill, dirt, or screen topsoil installed. So that's in there as well. Okay, I don't think you're really going to need that, because your soil on site is nice. And the really bad areas, we can use our rototiller, as I laid that out. We have a rototiller that goes on our skid steer that churns up the soil, so this way it alleviates the compaction. I'm only really considering having to do that around the pool. All right, everywhere else, the soil is not compact, and we can end up just using the process of core aerating and top dressing, and the results should be really good. Okay. Irrigation, it looks like you had a other system already installed previously, so we would have to send a technician and see what's actually working. Based on what's working, we can give you an accurate quote. I gave you a sense of cost in the bottom of that, listing approximately what it might cost, but that could change based on after the inspection. All right, and then obviously all the extras or exclusions are on the bottom as well, just so you understand everything. So that's it. I really appreciate the opportunity. But if you want a really nice job, again, I did give you a bigger discount than normal on all the plants. If you want a really nice job professionally done, then I know we could do that for you. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.